I want to talk to you about chatbots for lawyers and everything you got to know about the whole practice. And so here are the opening arguments when we talk about chatbots for lawyers. It's important to understand that chatbots really remain a time-saving automation tool that's actually hosted on a law firm's website and available 24/7. So basically, no need to have your staff actually stand around and actually answering any chat message. The chatbot will take care of everything for you. Okay. So when we talk about chatbots, we are talking about simple and complex chatbots in terms of simplicity. It really depends on how much you want to invest, really. But all chatbots actually help visitors find information on a website or direct them to the appropriate contact. As chatbots direct website visitors to the right person, they also send a summary of the visitor's questions and any additional information like contact details to the main to let's say a main repository. So having legal live chat is actually becoming increasingly common for law firms, and we're talking about all sizes of law firms. Like basically, it can be all sizes of law firms. It can be solos, small practice, or large practice. Not a problem. But chatbots for lawyers can help create even better client-centered experiences for potential new clients with automated instant responses. The need for chatbots came from one of live chat's pain points, specifically the live part, right? Clients expect live chat to be instantaneous, but sometimes, and what we have seen in our research is that a legal professional is not available to answer questions right away. Like let's say if a client is there, let's say at 10 p.m. Eastern, the staff member is home, right? So, and one thing I want to say is that a lawyer can answer queries from website visitors when they are in court with another client or on the go. So chatbots for lawyers remedy all of those issues by being available to answer 24/7. So that's an important element to think about. So being a lawyer is really not easy, especially in a very competitive field. You have to actually be responsive, and clients love that. Clients want lawyers to be responsive and reactive, and a chatbot can actually help you. Chatbots are best known as a precursor to a legal professional. A chatbot presents clients with a few questions so the chatbot can direct them to the right person. Okay, that's an important element to think about. I want to talk to you about the benefits of chatbots for lawyers, and then I'll talk about the drawbacks. I mean, there are a few drawbacks to think about. First of all, when we talk about chatbots for lawyers, you have a tool that saves time and money with automation, that improves efficiency and profitability, that allows you to stand out from the competition. That's an important element, and also provides a better client-centered experience. And what are the drawbacks? The drawbacks really it's a lack of personalization. In other words, you're not addressing a client's concern in a bespoke manner, at least initially. So that could be a little problematic for certain industries and certain practices. And you also have the fact that with chatbots, you have to actually do some maintenance in terms of feeding the proper answer into the program. But I want to focus on the benefits because chatbots are by far beneficial to and can be beneficial to your law firm. Save time and money with automation. With legal chatbots, lawyers don't need to spend their time answering simple client questions. By automating this easy but time-consuming task, lawyers can focus on completing more billable hours, which should be the goal of any practice. For virtual law firms, chatbots also act as a front desk receptionist. With law firm chatbots, firms don't need to hire a virtual assistant or dedicate an employee to answering basic inquiries for some website visitors. Okay. Improve efficiency and profitability. So answering questions is not the only thing a chatbot can do. Lawyers can program chatbots to perform client intake and book legal consultations. So instead of having, let's say, a lawyer take a prospective client call and going back and forth with the potential client, a chatbot streamlines this client intake process. A law firm chatbot can automate the client intake process for a more efficient and ultimately more profitable way to engage clients. You also have a standing out from the competition. So when experiencing a legal problem, clients usually reach out to more than one law firm to see which one best meets their needs. So having a chatbot can be really cool, especially when it comes to automating the booking. In terms of providing a better client-centered experience, Chatbot can provide a holistic client-centered experience beyond being the first contact with potential clients. Also, law firm chatbots can retain information on returning clients. You can also program chatbots to provide quick case updates, answer case-related FAQs, and book follow-up appointment. This way, chatbots can give clients more flexibility for a truly client-centered experience. Let's talk about the applications. So when we talk about chatbots, what are the applications of those chatbots for lawyers? Now, depending on the type of chatbot you have and how you use it, because it's all about actually customizing the chatbots based on your practice's operations. So based on depending on the type of chatbot that you have and how you use it, you can actually customize chatbots to be incredibly complex or handle simple manual tasks. Everything depends on the kind of strategy you have. Some bots, by the way, even have artificial intelligence built in. So you can actually use AI to learn as the chatbots interact with more people. And so let me give you a few examples of what chatbots can do for your law firm, okay, or for law firms in general. First of all, you have client communication, you have client intake, you have legal research, you have legal documents, you have time tracking, you have due diligence, and you have lead generation and qualification. Let me break it down a little for you. When we talk about client communication, for instance, I think I've already said that before, but answering questions is the most common application of a chatbot for lawyers. And most chatbots can handle simple yes or no questions with a few FAQs built in. And this built-in FAQs use a simple keyword detection workflows. For example, if a question contains "what are your operating hours?" then the chatbot will answer 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, other advanced chatbots built with AI can handle much more complex questions, okay? And you also have, for instance, client intake. So basically, chatbots for lawyers can function as a substitute for a client intake form. A chatbot can make the client intake experience more interactive. For example, a potential client can ask for clarification on certain questions. And you can also try legal research. So keyword detection is a fundamental feature built into every single chatbot based on our investigation. And with this functionality, chatbots make going through hundreds of pages of conversations, records, transcripts, and more a lot easier and faster. That way, lawyers can find what they need and perform legal research more efficiently. You also have legal documents. So creating contracts and other legal documents manually from templates is tedious and time consuming for legal professionals. So legal chatbots free up a lawyer's time by automating and generating contracts, NDAs, and other types of legal documents using keyword detection. You also have time tracking. So not all time is equal in the legal industry. For example, billable versus non-billable hours. And lawyers can use the legal chatbots as a time tracking tool to help lawyers track their utilization rates and see exactly how much time they are spending on non-billable tasks. You also have due diligence. That's another area where you can actually use the chatbots for lawyers, and that will really that will also help you in terms of streamlining the whole process. Okay, so using due diligence to confirm facts and figures within a case is especially tedious and time consuming for lawyers. And this is non-billable hours. Those are non-billable hours. So advanced chatbots for lawyers with built-in AI help automate and speed up this process by reviewing hundreds of documents at once and providing key summaries for legal professionals. Again, for you, for partners, for team members, and so on and so forth. So that's really good in terms of streamlining the whole operation of your practice. And you also have lead generation and qualification. So, and this is a very important element because this has to do with billable hours, because lead generation and qualification is an important element because you want to actually push prospects into the bottom part of the sales funnel so that they can become billable clients, so to speak. So lawyers can't work around the clock, but cases can come in and can come in at all hours. With automated booking, legal chatbots can qualify a prospective client and set up legal consultations whenever somebody new comes in, giving all law firms the power to generate leads 24/7. And having the power to generate leads is a great step in actually buttressing your revenue base over time. I want to talk to you about ethics here. So let's talk about the ethical considerations for using chatbots for lawyers. And so as with any new technology that stores client information, when using chatbots for lawyers, you need to be aware of some ethical considerations. And this is one area where the law is still murky, and also not only at the federal level, but also at the state level. So unless you build and host your own chatbots, lawyers need to do their best to ensure the security of a chatbot's input and output databases. And that's important because I was talking a little earlier about the fact that things are murky federally and also statewide. If your state is kind of strict when it comes to data security, when it comes to privacy, when it comes to similar context, you got to be very clear as to what the law allows and what it doesn't allow. Right now, things are not really because artificial intelligence is it's really an emerging factor in law firm operations. So the law is not really clear yet. But one thing for sure, clients need to know that the questions that they ask and information they share with your law firm chatbot will remain private and secure, right? Privacy and security. You got to be very careful there because otherwise you could actually be sued in court. So before a chatbot collects client data, law firms also need to let clients know exactly what the data is going to be used for. Okay, now there are other nuances that you need to be mindful of depending on your jurisdiction. For example, California has a specific law that requires chatbots to disclose they're not human to clients. Okay, so that's an important element. And if you have prospects coming from the EU area, you have to think about the GDPR. So that's an important element. And you got to make sure that your chatbots actually has processes in place to make sure that the data of the prospects is actually secure. So what are the options here? So the thing is that when we talk about legal chatbots for lawyers, legal chatbots, you have a lot of players. Not all chatbots are equal though. You may want a simple bot that answers yes or no questions, or you may want an advanced chatbots with many additional features. And so let me share with you a few of those that we have found. You have LawDroid. So LawDroid's consultants work with you to help create a bot that is suited for your law firm's needs and comes free to Clio customers, for example. And their simple, no-code legal chatbots help automate manual, tedious tasks and free up more time to do billable work. And LawDroid can also be integrated with other tools such as Equity Scheduling, Calendly, WordPress, Keep, and Clio Grow. Then you have a ChatFuel. So ChatFuel, for instance, is a great is a Facebook Messenger bot. That means the chatbot is built using the Facebook Messenger platform and can be integrated with into your website along with your other social channels. It's completely free for up to 50 users, meaning the chatbot can respond to 50 clients at one time. Also, you can create a chatbot in a do-it-yourself, no-code drag-and-drop builder. So that's kind of cool. So, and by the way, you can also create your own chatbot. That's totally possible. I mean, the technology is not there yet, but it is advancing fast. Okay, so if you have custom needs or want complex capabilities, for instance, you can hire a developer to help create your own chatbot. Building your own legal chatbot means you can program it to behave and function exactly the way you want. However, building your own chatbot can require more time and investment, especially if you are a small firm or if the ROI is not really there in terms of supporting the economics of the investment. So be very clear to make sure that it's really adding value to your operations. And it's an important element. And so if you decide to create your own law firm chatbot, you need to understand the structure of chatbots and how they were built in the first place. Also, you need to go actually into the chatbot creation process knowing exactly what you want, right? You got to have clarity clarity in terms of what you want, what you're going to use the data for, and how you're going to track results over time. If you have no idea what you want, no idea how you're going to track results, you are just wasting your time and money and resources. So, how do you make the most of chatbots for lawyers? Now, everything depends on the strategy you want to go for, right? It depends on the vision you have in the first place. What we have seen right now is that AI is a really evolving field, but advanced AI chatbots for lawyers work best for firms generating a high volume of web traffic or often get queries to common questions. And this type of advanced chatbot will free the firm's time by automating and delegating tedious manual tasks to the chatbot. Right. The bottom line here is that if you want to actually manage your cash inflows versus cash outflow, if you want to make sure that you are actually having more billable hours versus non-billable hours, you want to actually push those non-money generating tasks to the back burner and actually allocate those tasks to a chatbot. So for smaller law firms or solo practitioners, having a chatbot that can book consultations and answer simple questions outside of business hours will be most impactful in our view. Even if you are a solo practitioner without a website, a Facebook Messenger bot can help field queries on your social media platforms. That's really an important element. But the bottom line here is that your law firm can benefit from using chatbots. That's for sure. If you set it up correctly and you are actually you make sure that you are complying with whatever laws and regulations are in effect in your jurisdiction. Okay. So in the past, lawyers inevitably had to sit down and work their way through tedious paperwork and answering the same questions repeatedly. Thanks to the rise of new technology like chatbots and AI-driven tools that help automate and streamline, let's say, legal workflows, lawyers can focus on what matters most, helping their clients and actually beefing up the amount of billable hours. One thing I want to say here is that based on, the information I just gave you into this conversation is mostly applicable to U.S. practices. So basically, if you have, if your practice is in somewhere in Europe, Australia, Nigeria, Brazil, or what have you, the info may not be applicable because every jurisdiction actually has laws. Even in the states here, federally, as I said a little earlier, the regulations are still murky, but at the state level, things are still in development anyway, so things can change. So what are the closing arguments? So in today's conversation, I spoke to you about chatbots for lawyers, and I give you the opening arguments, the benefits, the applications, the ethics, the options, and now the closing arguments. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.